like an store
Hmm.
with, I don't know, three computers. So we go to the store to do the homework in the store, and we have to pay, I don't know, for example, $1 per 30 minutes. So if
Yeah.
30 minutes is not enough to do the homework, so we pay another dollar for another 30 minutes because it was expensive,
Mm.
to get a computer in that time.
Yeah. Silver Cafe. Cafe. Silver Cafe.
Was
Yeah,
that like an internet cafe, Andrea?
yeah. I don't know if it's the same here in the United States. It was the same here or no, but in Colombia it used to be like that.
Now disappear this
Yes.
place.
Yeah.
When
The-
when Mailson and Angel were talking, I started thinking of another question. Andrea, can you read aloud what I wrote right here?
Yeah. Is how does a society change their ideas about what they can and cannot do?
So, if we take Mailson's example, Mailson, can you remind everybody how afraid everybody in your house was of the computer? Just remind everybody.
Yes, of course.
Mm.
Uh, when 2002, 2004, uh, my sister bought one computer, Windows 95.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
amazing. It's beautiful that time. And
Yeah.
we needed to move from the bedroom to the another place. And I tried to look something, and my sister told me, "Don't touch, don't touch. You broken this. I pay. It's expensive. It's don't touch." And she called one teacher to come, and he's tell us, "Oh no, to move. She can't allow us to just move. No. He came, disconnect a whole cables, everything, and it's cable by cable. The keyboard, the mouse, the screen, the power cord, everything one by one. And after that, oh, just connect this. You can't plug this on a wrong place. This go just in this place, because that time the keyboard and the mouse is not a USB.
No.
No.
It's
Yeah.
alcohol.
Yeah. It's hard because the mouse and the keyboard is
The
similar, but it's not the same.
that
The-
different
Does everybody
color.
know who Jack Ma is?
Mm.
Uh, he's a one of the wealthiest people in China. I think he moved to Japan, but he created Alibaba
Uh-huh.
and
Mhm.
and a mobile payment system that's popular called Alipay, which is really like a PayPal of China and Amazon of China. So rich. But he was an English teacher and in his 20s, and he went to use a computer, and he tells this story about he was so afraid to touch the computer because
Yes.
where he's from, it was so expensive. He said, I was so scared to touch the computer. He was like
Yes.
28 years old. He's like, and then his
Yes.
friend says, stop, just it's not a bomb, just type something. And he goes, and he describes the first time he uses the internet. It was like, and then
Oh,
he puts a word in to an old Netscape search, and then the picture comes up very slowly, and he's like, wow. And
Yes.
then eventually, he built a business selling things on the internet. But he tells this story about how he was terrified, absolutely terrified he was going to break the computer the first time he touched it at 28 years
Yeah,
old.
yes.
oh.
Yes.
Another fun thing is the internet by phone.
Yeah.
Expensive, yeah. And
Yes.
the
Yes.
and the noise they made every time when they connected.
No.
So for anybody who came to class late, I showed this scene in a classic movie. This is Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, 1971, where it's a comedy. There's somebody in a suit looking really confident, pushing buttons into a machine, and it takes up basically an entire off floor of an office building. And it's the computer, and the computer essentially is doing what is like doing what AI would do now. not giving them the answer he wants, and he's arguing with the computer. But that was what a computer was 50 years ago. It was a giant machine that took up space on a whole floor of an office building. Not something like this, not something that would be available in a developing country, and most certainly not something that a regular person would ever have in their home, let alone have in your pocket. So here's a quick question. How did our ideas change about what these things are? It went from something that would no way anybody would ever use personally for work or school because they're too complicated, to something that a child can use, and now our children teach us to use. How does that happen? Sometimes I teach my son a few things about the computer that I know, and sometimes he teaches me things that I don't know. And I go, oh, how do you do that? Oh, yeah, okay.
No, teacher, for me is the grow up the new generation born in this moment with the is exploring, is bring a lot technology, new machine. The baby born in the first gift is a table, is a smartphone. Compared with me, for example, I received my first computer when I was 28. It's different. And my son received his first computer 6 age. Is
8 years old?
for he is a toys. It's different. It's different context. It's different context. And I received my first computer and compare with my son. It's different. Or my first phone. It's-
The reason I'm starting this is because the homework assignment I gave everybody last Friday was a question in the middle of the lecture, and I didn't actually get to the end of the lecture, which I want to show you now. So the John Pollock lecture, he makes the argument that a computer went from being something that nobody would want to use personally, no normal person who wasn't an engineer or a scientist, whatever, would ever use, to something that is a perfectly ordinary thing to have in your house, like having a mic, just a regular appliance that you have in your home. And I'm going to stop recording now, and I'm going to go to that part of the lecture. He argues that it was an analogy that changed people's minds about what a computer is and is not, going back to last week. So I'm going to pause the recording right here. Okay, so there it is. So this is an ad from the mid to late 1980s. And this is exactly what the company is addressing in the ad. Who would like to read these words right there?
I read, teacher.
Go ahead, Erna.
Desktop computer make people feel less confused and intimidated by technology.
Yeah, oh, that's my question right there. Good. So
Ah,
that's how did the desktop computer make people feel less confused and intimidated by technology? There's my question. Erna, can you read this part of the ad right there?
Oh, yeah. Yes. Apple introduced Macintosh,
Yeah,
the computer for the bemused, confused, and intimidated.
there you go. So essentially, this is what a computer was, something that takes up a whole floor of an office building. It's really complicated. You have to go to college for years and years and be an engineer or a scientist to use it. Normal people will never understand it. It's for them, not us. And then all of a sudden, there companies like this are launching products that are supposed to be more friendly. The language, this is, does everybody see this? If you can point, you can use a Mac. If you can point, that was the ad. If you can do this,
Yep.
you can use a Macintosh. This is before everybody knew what, and the language is simple. It looks like a mouse, so we'll call it a mouse.
Yep.
Instead of giant disks to hold information, they had these things called floppy disks. We now use USBs and we put stuff in the cloud in data centers.
The floppy, yes.
Yeah. But it was,
Yes.
the idea was you can use, it's small and it's not scary.
Mhm.
Same keyboard as a typewriter. And it's going to fit on your
Keyboard.
desk. It was called the desktop. It was not the idea of it being small, not like this, because this is scary and intimidating. It's going to be smaller. And
Mm.
all of these icons were meant for basically people who didn't know anything. If
This
you
is the
wanted
key,
to
teacher.
delete something,
The icon.
yeah, these are the
This is the
icons.
key.
The trash can.
Mhm.
Just like in the Pollock lecture, it wasn't really an Apple idea to do this. These ideas were coming from Xerox and other companies, but Apple really laid out the framework. So a picture of a trash can. So for
Mhm.
somebody who doesn't understand much, they want to erase something, delete something, throw it away.
Mhm.
Okay, I can put it in the trash. If you want to
Mhm.
save something, it looks like a physical paper folder.
Yep.
A document, okay, it looks like a paper document I can hold in my hand.
Yep.
So all this was very deliberate marketing. It's taking this exact same stuff that nobody can really understand and making it
Mhm.
much, much, much easier to understand. And we don't even think about it that much today. So Edna, can you do what you did a little while ago? Can you read this question?
How did the desktop computer make people feel less confused and intimidated by technology?
Very good. All right. So that's the question. Talk to each other. How did this whole concept of a computer on your desk, the personal computer, a desktop, make people feel less intimidated, less scared? And I love that when I say intimidated and scared, I love Melson's story about the first computer in his house. That's perfect. So everybody,
Yes.
think about the story Melson told about everybody. Don't touch it. Don't touch it. The computer's in this room. Everybody out. Don't get too close.
Cola technique. Cola
Yeah,
technique.
get away from it. Get away from it. Okay. All right. So that's the question. We'll go into breakout rooms. How did the desktop computer make people feel less intimidated by technology?
Mhm.